Is there actually more to these new Bachmann Mark 1 passenger inclusive coaches than first meets the eye? Is there any more we can do to these coaches to bring them a little bit closer together and bang up to date with flicker-free LED? And yes, at the end of the show, a little bit more about the model giveaway. But which, when and how? Stay tuned. It's alright. And hi, my name's Andy, and this is my channel Modeloco for all things model railway. And yes, I've wanted some more of these for a long time. Please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. It all helps the algorithm, helping me to help you to help even more people out there come to terms with coaching stock, and it's something that I'm just getting into. And yes, I do like my crimson and creams, but that's another story because we're on the blue and greys. When it comes to coaching stock, there are so many variations out there too, just like all the models in double O. So let's have a quick look because we've got BCK, BFK, BG, BPOT, BSK, BSO, BSOT, just to name a few. And what all this lettering means, we want to know as consumers if our models will go together, not just in batch release colour codes or couplings, but in the styles in which they were built and if they all look right in a rake. Maunsell, Hawksworth, Bullide, or is it Bullide? That's why I like TT120, for instance. When you bought your Raker Crimson and Cream Mark 1s, they all went together. When you got your Mark 3s for your Class 43, they all went together. And now they're all going to go together again because I'm buying a batch together. And I wanted passengers fitted. Yes, I wanted the magnetic lift-off roof, but they haven't got these. Yes, I wanted lights fitting, but these haven't got these. But yes, I wanted blue and greys. So what have I got? I've got BR Mark 1s from Bachmann. And I'm going to fit my own lights. Now, we might not get around to it in this show. We'll see how we go. Getting some of these to match these older ones that I've got have been a nightmare. And I don't want to pay extortionate prices on second-hand sites. And there are some differences. Okay, let's look what came through the door today. 2 coaches. And first, the 39-175G from Bachmann, Mark 1, BG brake gangway, BR blue and grey. And more importantly, all nicely tissue wrapped, this one with passengers fitted. The first I've got, which is the Bachmann 39-050 JPF, BR Mark 1 SO second open, BR blue and grey with fitted passenger figures. Let's have a look inside the box. I have noticed on the brake coach that there seems to be a little bit missing the hook of the tension lock coupling. Hope that's not a sign of things to come. I'm sure it won't be. Quick look around the box. You've seen it all before. If you're interested in these like me, then I managed to pick these up in the Gauge Master sale offer they had, celebrating one of their anniversaries. So thanks to them, came in a little bit cheaper. Always good to search and look online at all the different offers out there. First out the box, got this, tease this open. Looking very nice indeed. Oh, and there is the hook, so it's just fallen off. They do come off, but I like the Bachmann couplings. Sheath to protect the roofing. I'm just letting you have a quick look at these. We've got the parts fitted, so at some point you can fit your own lights. I know that a lot of manufacturers now, like Rapido and Cavalex, are starting to fit wand-based lighting, which isn't battery powered, loosely based on the Hornby. Maglights Gauge Master, who now own Train Tech, are bringing their own version of the key fob battery light system for coaches coming out. Will I go this route in future? Will I stick with Maglight? Or will I develop my own system? Because of course, I've got a lot of older rolling stock, or I've got rolling stock like these Bachmann ones that as yet haven't got that real answer. And there's not that much out there when you start looking, because you want the right resistors. If you're going to have track fed, you don't want it flickering like in the old days. So I'm looking at that as this video progresses. I think I'm going to go a bit like one way for some and another way for others. We'll have to wait and see. But I've got some bits on order as well to try out in my own DIY, because a lot of people go on about modelling, say, buildings and not scratch building anymore. They're always buying resin buildings now. And modelers will say, well, you know, this is part of the hobby, actually, scratch building. Now, for me, scratch building models, it's not something I'm into. It's not a passion. But when it comes to stripping down the coaches and putting some electronics in there, I like my gadgets. Although Bachmann are teasing us with the bogies to accommodate track-fed lighting, there's nothing available from Bachmann to go in these coaches as yet. The other thing to mention quickly with these as well, you do know what you're getting with Bachmann. I've got them before. I know they run well. I know it's not just about seeing them online and thinking they look great, and then you get them out of the box and you see the buffers are really weakly moulded or they don't run well across points. We know with Hornby and Bachmann what we're getting now, so that's something to bear in mind as well. Don't get too drawn in by all the aesthetics when it's the running that really matters, or the eyes on the painted figures are not quite dotted. NEM sockets, small D couplings, and good quality couplings and sockets, and the option to have magnetic couplings is paramount as well. I've been sold the hype in the past. I don't want to be sold it again, and it's not always the case, but beware. And as a consumer, you're a consumer too watching this, and that's what we want, the best. And I'm going to give you my opinions, my thoughts as an independent modeler. Come get the hook that was loose in the box back on there. And with this hook off as well, we can easily see upside down the coupling system to keep the close coupling. There we go, that's on. A bit loose, but it's all right. Small D coupling, NEM socket, and coming into 2025, there's so much technology coming forward and new innovations, so go check that out before you start buying like a load of brake coaches or too many first class coaches on your rake. You don't need too many of those, but you want more second class and third class if it's applicable. This is the important one, passengers fitted. I can already see 4 in there, so let's open the box up. No coupling hooks falling off on this occasion. We have some extra goodies, and we have also on the underside of this box some goodies. 2 different box designs, so if you are opening the brake coach, they're on the bottom. And if we're looking, ooh, we get a lamp on the end cap, and we also get some vacuum pipe couplings to keep your rake permanently together. I won't be using them, but they're there if you need them. Extra length, so it's not a brake, on the coach, and some extra detailing on the roof. There are the passengers. I'm going to try and stand above the camera so you can get a good look. Are they as bad as we were led to believe? Turned around. Again, sat doing various things. Modern passengers, I would say. Some sat there, businessmen, some reading books, and some you could say are on their gadgets. Good mix of male and female. There we go. And I'm just getting the news out there. The passenger fitted coaches from Bachmann are now coming into stock. All the underframe detail. And again, same coupling design as the brake coach. The fittings all there to enable you to fit LED lighting should you so wish. It's a shame Bachmann haven't gone the same way as Rapido by doing the mag light track fed sort of lighting. I bought a few Hornby mag lights in a sale. Whether I fit those to these coaches is another thing. If I ever have to change the batteries, then I have to take the body off. And the other thing that Rapido and Cavalex seem to be bringing in to the fore as well, some nice detailing here, look, is magnetic takeoff roofing. I think that is a shame that's missing on these items. They are premium priced, but they're very much wanted on my layout. Whether they are on yours is another matter altogether. But yes, I did want fitted passengers because, to be honest, if I fit passengers, it's going to cost me as a consumer to fit 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you've got 12 passengers fitted, which is great, isn't it? All the seating there. They're the right passengers. Yes, they've got the legs taken off because Bachmann don't usually go right down to the floor. You'll see them running up in Loft House. Some nice window detailing. Nice added grille. The toilet, I do believe. And that grille is on both sides. And the roofing detailing extra on the coach. Excellent. Free running, as you expect from Bachmann. The passengers that seem to be fitted look to me to be these, and I got these at Bur Valley Railway models, 1695. So you're getting a full pack of 12 figures fitted at a lot less than buying them separately. Now I'm going to fit magnetic couplings. Hornby do two varieties, and I like the injection molded couplings. I haven't tried to send back all my broken ones from the other popular company, but they do say now if you do send them back, their manufacturing process has improved and they will replace them free of charge. I'll let you know when I try to send mine back. But there we go. Obviously you'll fit this door at the end of any rake. You don't want them in between because of course you want to keep that coupling as close as you can without any gnashing and clashing. These are the R7399 magnetic vacuum pipe couplings, the 20mm ones. There's 8 pairs. They come in at great value, and I just keep them in a jam jar. And they go anyway, of course, because they've got 2 magnets. Very clever little idea. So if I open here, our accessory bag, careful with craft knives, of course. There we go. You can see our little bits and pieces. If you want to fit these additional Buckeye couplings that come in the bag, then you can. We've got 2 Buckeye couplings. They just for show really fit in here in the small hole, but I found them very loose fitting. You'd have to glue them in, and you don't really want them even with vacuum pipe couplings that hang down. They still catch them, so it's up to you whether you fit them. I won't be doing. There's our back end with a nicely fitted tail lamp, if you don't want one that's lit, which I think they should be these days. That's just me. So if we put these together, we can see that these are ever so slightly shorter on the magnetic side. So will they work? All we can do is try them. So a brief history then. The Mark I coaches were built in 2 distinct types. The early vehicles 1951 to 1960, and then the Commonwealth stock named from the type of bogie used, as we said about different bogies, from 1961 onwards. Near the end of the production of hauled Mark I stock came a series of 8 experimental carriages known as the XP64 set, which consisted of 3 corridor firsts, 2 corridor seconds, and 3 tourist second opens, which were built by Derby Carriage Works in 1964. Externally, they resembled Mark I stock with the addition of a cosmetic cover over the sole bars and the standard Mark I underframes, but inside they included many new features, including pressure ventilation, new seating designs, and wider bifold doors. Many of these features were later incorporated in the Mark II stock and produced from 1964 onwards, and then there's Mark III's too. And interestingly as well, that the figures that have been fitted look to be now representing ethnic minorities, but it didn't seem apparent in these figures, whether they've just painted them or it's a slip of the paintwork, or maybe that's why the paintwork on these ones here, especially the first 2, don't look as neatly done as the others. Is it tick boxes for new legislation? I don't know. And I'm hoping these new coaches will go nicely with these 2 that I've bought in the past, the 39/312 and the 39250A, which are in blue and grey. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. And these 2 are here. Restaurant car, obviously no figures fitted, so they look very empty. And there's this one with the fitted table lamps. These do flicker. They're a light pipe, so some of them are dimmer than others, but it adds to the effect somewhat when it comes to things like table lamps or like a candle effect. My new ones, they do match well. Bogies lining up because bogies change from design and update. There's so many things to learn in this hobby, and I'm just getting into the coaching side, but that's what I wanted, some blue and greys, and so I've got a nice gaggle if you're talking about geese. So a nice rake. If I fit figures now into these two, it's going to cost me $16.95 a time, where to get these put in, I think you're paying about an extra £5 or £6. But that's my first one that's come with figures fitted. I'm looking forward to seeing the rest. Does the roofing colour match up? No, not really. But slightly more matte finish on these and a slightly darker grey. Everybody seems to be upping their game. Let's get these little beauties into the mix. Now, I don't know about you, I never like pulling these straight out of the socket, so I just bring my snipe nose pliers along. It is a knack that you will get used to, and you want to make sure the vacuum pipe is hanging down toward the track. Clips in very nicely, Hornby, thank you. Injection molded, as I said. That's that little bit that's come off again. There we go. But once they come, they do seem to come out quick. Let's put the new one in. It's a lot better, I must say, Hornby. I'm just going to give you a look at the coupling before and after. You see the massive gap there. I mean, that's just crazy, isn't it? Well, with magnetic couplings, the super close coupling that we want. And you've got the kinematic, so they open up on the bends. And look at that. Hassle-free uncoupling. And coupling. Obviously, if you're going to use the auto uncoupler, you'll need one of these where it attaches to the Loco. There we go. Clearly now see, there's no fouling there. And these couplings are so much easier to run with. Now, I did mention table lamps, and if we're going to be fitting lighting to these two new coaches, you can do it with a mag light, as we mentioned earlier, from Hornby with a battery in there, or we can feed it directly from the track. And if you see this one that's been done by Bachmann already, or Bachmann if you work at Key Model World, then you can see how I'm going to be doing that on this coach, if indeed that's what I want to do. So there we go, because they're all fitted with the brass or brass effect parts for that to be enabled. And you can see the edge in here, which goes to the wheel or the spigot. Probably just go onto the spigot, so there's going to be no friction in the way. With this older restaurant car that I bought, there are no electrical connections for track powered lighting fitted to these. Also, it's not as kinematic, if you know what I mean. There's no V's or bevels in the underside like there are here, so you get that nice constant pushing and pulling. So Bachmann have improved that as well on their bogies. And I suppose I could take these bogies out and put some other bogies on, but not as good, are they? So this is what you're paying for as you go forward. Right, we've one more coach to do, which is this one, the restaurant car. Now, I've just managed to take these scales out of the kitchen where beetroot soup is being hurriedly brought to the boil and freshly cooked. So, gram-wise, what does the new Bachmann Mark 1 brake come in at? There we go. 139 grams. Okay, that's with the electrical contacts and no figures. Right, the new one with passengers fitted, electrical contacts, no lights. What do they weigh in at? Because it's all integral to the pulling power. 163 grams. So we could have laid it on its side, I guess. Now, the older Mark 1, no electrical contact, no passengers fitted, Basic interior, 158 grams. So we're not really losing much, are we? And let's have a look at this one with a light pipe and table lamps fitted, electrical wiring and contacts fitted. These have all got the new vacuum pipe Hornby magnetic couplings fitted as well. 149 grams. Isn't it interesting how these things pan out? You'd think that would have been the heaviest, wouldn't you? Anyway, let's get up into Loft House and have a run round. That back door slots nicely in there. Doesn't it look beautiful, that? Catches the light a bit as well, that red. That's going to go at the end of the rake. I have put a tension lock coupling back on the restaurant coach because coming in to get that will be a 94XX. On there we've got the vacuum coupling. I'm on Digitrax today. So onto the track, these new Bachmann coaches. So just out of view is that one. There we go. There them both. And you'll see how the magnetic couplings just take up. There we go, 1 and 2. And what we want to try, out of Loft House. For a run round. See if there's any gnashing on the radius 2. I don't go any more than radius 2. Here's the important one. Ooh, bit of clashing with the magnetic couplings. Just on the older Bachmann to the restaurant car, but the others seem fine. But we're looking at the back 2 coaches, which are the new ones. So what I had to do at this point, and this is all in the journey, was remove the magnetic couplings between the older Mark 1s and put tension lock couplings back in between the locomotive and the first older coach. Of course it's a tension lock coupling. So I've got the wider gap between the first 2 older coaches. Now where the older coach connects to the newer coach, that was okay with magnetic couplings. The first beveled bogie on the newer coach allows it to be very close coupled and helps it along, so there's no meshing or buffer clash. This is a reason why sometimes it's good to buy all the same batch, then you get the same throughout. I mean, it's as easy as that. I mean, great, isn't it? And when you're leaning over a layout and trying to get in there to change rakes and orders and things, if your coaching stock has M sockets on, always check that. You don't want the older D-type. These new coaches are just getting better and better all the time. Close coupling capability now is phenomenal. Okay, we'll try again. Well, time is of the essence, so solicitors saying it's caught up with us again almost. Have I got time to show you these two coaches behind because they are lit, and how I got into them because one was more difficult than the other. Plus, once you've got passengers in one, you want passengers in them all, so I have fit passengers in everyone that I'm putting lights in. Of course, once you've got passengers in, you do want lights in. Do you put lights in an NDV, which is a newspaper delivery brake van? I don't know. I could do, couldn't I? Suppose they would have had lights in. I'm not sure. What do you think? Let me know. And also, I've done some other coaches and I'm adding to them all the time. So I've done this Southern Region one as well. Go on, we'll have a quick look how I got into this older restaurant car, which is the easiest one to get into. But if you want to see it in depth, then you can become a member and all videos are available as bolt-ons to these videos. All your support helps independent modelling, and thank you. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe. I have chosen to go with mag lighting, which is from Hornby, because I've already got them. Batteries do last a long while. They're like key fob batteries that you have for your ignition. They're not like AAA. Some LED battery powered packs will constantly feed and bleed the battery power away over a set period of time. Hornby seem to have put in there the extra electronics so this bleed away doesn't happen. And the magnetic latching switch that they use are very expensive to buy as a consumer separately. So they make quite a good value pack. And I'm not one of those that runs for hours and hours on end with them on or off. And I can turn them on and off just with the magnet. And I've got some of those. And I want them to be uniform. I am going to look at track fed lighting and possibly soldering on to the underside here and fitting them in the coaches as they come through from Bachmann. See how they look and see which one is best. I can always take things out and always put things in. But of course, track fed lighting needs to be a different voltage, possibly to battery fed 3-volt lighting, unless you fit resistors and things like that. But we can go into that another time. And you can even turn them on both at the same time if you can get close enough. See what I mean? Full brightness of light, can still see into the cabs. So I'm really happy with them. Next step, we try the track fed. Finally, Lyndon Taft Davis has been really poorly, so if you can go and support him with his charity, and Eloise, of course, then do so. There's a link on my channel, I'll just put it on the show, and you can go into that. And finally, the competition for all those who watch the compendium series that I've just done. I am going to be giving a model away, hopefully before Christmas, and to find out when, watch the series. More details about that to come because people have been asking. Happy modelling until the next one. Please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. It won't hurt the bank balance, and we'll see you soon. Hope that's been helpful.